that Wicknell Chivayo is doing with President William Kipchirchir Samoei Arap Ruto in our state house, the people's house. What are they planning for us in the upcoming 2027 elections? We must take this extremely seriously, guys. We must take it extremely seriously. Hapa iko maneno yanaendelea, na haya maneno lazima tuelewe. Rais Ruto anajaribu kufanya nini na Wicknell Chivayo? He is a convicted fraudster. He has spent 2 years in Chikirubi maximum prison in Zimbabwe. Hey guys, this is your Jomba. As you have just seen, that was 3rd of April. I was in Sagalla and I was asking who the hell is Wicknell Chivayo? We have answers. Yesterday on the 15th of June, gazeti inaitwa ZimLive.com came out with very damning allegations on the association between Wicknell Chivayo and President Ruto. Wicknell Chivayo owns a company called IMC Construction Kenya, which has been given a stake in the $2.9 billion, I repeat, $2.9 billion contract, the expansion of Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, JKIA. Guys, this is 379 billion Kenyan shillings. If you look at the video of the 3rd of April, I really struggled to understand the relationship between Wicknell Chivayo and President Ruto. So therefore, I have taken some time, and today this video is going to be more of a montage of the activities between Wicknell Chivayo, or the meetings, mikutano kati ya Wicknell Chivayo na President Ruto since he took office. I took time, I scrubbed this information off of Sir Wicknell Chivayo's Twitter page and Instagram page, just to be sure, sawa, because every time he meets President Ruto and other African presidents, he goes ahead to post this information on his social media pages. The very first meeting yenye nimedocument between Wicknell Chivayo and President Ruto, as posted on Sir Wicknell Chivayo's Twitter page, was on 5th of January 2025, and this was most likely State House in Eldoret. President Ruto was together with his wife, Rachel. You can see them there smiling broadly for the cameras. And then immediately after that, on the 16th of January, Wicknell Chivayo met with President Ruto, and this is not a one-off meeting. There were several meetings, because unaweza kuona nguo mavazi yamebadilika in the pictures that are playing on your screen. On the 27th of January 2025, Wicknell Chivayo, together with his wife, met again with President Ruto in State House, Nairobi. On the 30th of April, he met with President Ruto again. And when you look at these pictures, he is holding a folder with the government of Kenya logo, whatever you want to call it. So inaitwa nini? Inaitwa logo ama inaitwa coat of arms? Coat of arms. You can see Wicknell Chivayo is holding a folder with the coat of arms, and I want to make a serious allegation. I am going to say that this is the day that he was given his Kenyan citizenship. He was given his Kenyan national identity card, and this is the day I'm alleging alipatiwa passport ya Jamhuri ya Kenya. And then they met again on the 26th of May in State House Nairobi. Baada ya hapo wakakutana tarehe 7 June State House Nairobi again. They met again on the 11th of August in State House, and this is the first time Wicknell Chivayo amepost picha akiwa amesimama na kusalimiana na kucheka cheka na Mama Rachel Ruto. 22nd October is my birthday. Terrible things. Wicknell Chivayo again is in State House Nairobi with President Ruto. Wamekutana tena tarehe 20 November in State House Nairobi. Wicknell Chivayo, President Ruto. And then the final meeting of 2025 was on 18th December 2025. In total, from whatever public information I have gathered, wamekutana 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, Wicknell Chivayo on his public Twitter account has documented 10 meetings between himself and President Ruto for the whole of 2025. Their first meeting that we are aware of that is publicly acknowledged by Wicknell Chivayo was on 5th of January 2025, and the final meeting yenye walimaliza kukutana ilikuwa ni tarehe 18 December 2025. So when you look at the video ya tarehe 3 April, I was trying to piece together what is it exactly that does Wicknell Chivayo do for President Ruto. You know, I even went ahead and alleged that, oh, maybe he, you know, after meeting Simon Mann inside that Chikurubi prison in Zimbabwe, he went ahead and formed a mercenary organization. I made an allegation that maybe he's helping to launder money on behalf of President Ruto. We know that there's some gold involved between President Ruto, Wicknell Chivayo, and Mama Rachel Ruto. That one we know. It's an allegation I'm making, but I'm sure we are sure that there's a lot of gold from Zimbabwe to Nairobi, and then this goes onwards to Dubai. Dubai is very thirsty for gold, and Zimbabwe is one of their biggest suppliers. So hapo hivyo kuna vile Mama Rachel hiyo ndio biashara yake, that is her main business. That is where she gets her pocket money. I have no idea what she does with this money. In 2026, the first meeting, na hii ndio meeting ambayo Deputy President wetu Kindiki akaguzishwa handball. You see, the good thing about President Ruto, whenever he is going about committing whatever crimes he is committing, normally he makes sure that he has people which are fall guys basically. So ile siku ambapo kutachomeka kusemekana ya kwamba okay, now Kenyans are coming after whatever deals you did with Wicknell Chivayo, believe it or not, utapata signature ya nani? Ya Kindiki. 11th January 2026 is the first meeting ya kwanza kati ya Wicknell Chivayo, President Ruto na Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki in Sagalla State Lodge. So you can imagine this guy has flown from Zimbabwe or wherever he came from, akalanda Nairobi, akachukuliwa na magari kutoka Nairobi akapelekwa hadi Sagalla State Lodge. Or maybe even, unfortunately and sadly, and this is a very damning allegation, most likely alibebwa na helicopter zetu za Kenya Air Force kumpeleka wapi? Kumit President Ruto na Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki in Sagalla State Lodge. And then the second meeting that he posted was on 13th of January 2026. Alikuwa anakula lunch na Mama Rachel Ruto. And a lot of us kwenye mitandao, we normally, you know, we know tunasema ya kwamba mama, you know, labda anaonewa, maybe she's in a toxic marriage and everything. But mimi personally, I'm going to make a very serious allegation hapa, niseme ya kwamba huyu mama hata shetani mwenyewe amefiki. We will know. The good thing is that time always tells us the truth. We just have to be patient. So 13th of January with Mama Rachel Ruto in State House for lunch. Tarehe 1 April 2026, State House Nairobi, another meeting with President Ruto. And I think this is the reason why I did the 3rd of April video, sawa, to ask who is Wicknell Chivayo. On the 16th of April, again, they met again in State House, Nairobi. And then they met again. Now, this is Mandera. State Lodge, Mandera. Tarehe 2 June, 2nd of June, they met in State Lodge, Mandera. 1st of June was Madaraka Day celebrations, and then I think President Ruto spent another day. So it's either they met on the 1st or they met on the 2nd. But he posted those pictures, State Lodge, Mandera, on the 2nd of June. So this is juicy. Today is what? Today is 16th of June. So this is just 2 weeks ago. On the 4th of June, President Ruto went for a state visit to South Africa. And the first person he met before he began his official duties as President of the Republic of Kenya ilikuwa ni huyu jamaa ambaye kwa mtandao wetu wa Twitter anaitwa Fat Todd. So he met the Fat Todd, who is Wicknell Chivayo in South Africa. Another information I just received as I was gathering research for this episode today is that Sir Wicknell Chivayo landed yesterday on the 15th of June in Nairobi, and akona magari yake special. Actually, it's the number plate ni WMC 777. You will see that on the screen too. And he got a special escort from the airport to wherever he was going. The significance of this revelation by ZimLive.com is that now we know exactly what it is Wicknell Chivayo does with President Ruto. There's a high possibility he is a proxy wa rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, and that contract ya JKIA $2.9 billion, the real owner of the contract is President Ruto, and Chivayo ni mtu tu wa mkono wa kushikilia ile pesa as the real owners come to take it. Atalipwa commission. People like Chivayo are commission agents, so most likely he's paid a 10%, 15% commission. And when you do 10% of 375 billion, sawa, that is 37 billion shillings. Hiyo ni pesa ambayo mimi na all my subscribers and all the 200,000 views we've had, hata tukigawanya, we will never finish that money in our lifetimes. In fact, that money will go all the way to our 5th generations. So it is colossal sums of money. The question here is, President Ruto, what do you do with this money? Inakusaidia na nini? So what is it going to help you with? Like, how rich can you be? That is what the Kenyans are asking. Sadly, my viewers hapa kwa Mwabili Mwagodi TV, that is the reality of the things that are happening today. Today is 16th of June. Hivyo ndio mambo yanavyoenda. I started questioning hapa tarehe 3 of April, what is Wicknell Chivayo doing with President Ruto? I will link the episode in the description. And even after that meeting ya April tarehe 1, sawa, bado huyu mtu anazidi kutana na Ruto, and finally we have gotten the true revelations. The two Chinese companies, which is ile CCCC, CCC, which is the main contractor ya JKIA expansion, China Rail and Bridges, CRBC, sawa, and then IMC Construction Kenya Limited, which is now fully owned by Wicknell Chivayo, has a stake in the project. And you must remember, in Zimbabwe, some of his contracts never took off. Kwa mfano ile ya energy, ya electricity, it never took off. He was sued by the government of Zimbabwe for, it was $178 million. That's how he was sued. So most likely, hata hiyo JKIA haitawahi kujengwa. The whole idea is that the project fails to take off. These 3 companies go to court you know, and then they are paid damages in the billions, most likely 50 billion, which looks like a very small amount when you compare to 375 billion, but it is free money. That is the name of the game. Hivyo ndio pesa zetu zinavyoibiwa, ushuru wetu hivi ndivyo unavyoibiwa na mtu anayeongoza aliyeko mstari wa mbele kabisa in the theft of our taxes, as you can see. Hey guys, it's your Jomba. This is a very late cut. It's now 12:35 p.m. Wicknell Chivayo has just posted on his Twitter account a few moments ago that he met President Ruto in State House on 15th of June in the evening, just before President Ruto left for France. And as I had shown you earlier in the clip, kuna clip ambayo unaona Wicknell Chivayo, he was in the back of a car coming, he was on the expressway, he was coming from the airport. So this confirms that that contract here, JKIA, is actually true, that he is involved and his sponsor, his patron, or whatever he is the proxy of President Ruto. And now I am making this allegation and I am going to add this clip onto the main video. I had already uploaded it on YouTube, but I am going to re-edit it right now very fast, niweke hii, so that we have a full complete episode of everything that has transpired since 5th of January 2025 in the lead up to the award of this contract by President Ruto to his stooge, or whatever it is you want to call him. Guys, thank you very much for your support. I feel the love, you guys on the comments, you guys watching the videos, you guys sharing them everywhere. This video is very, very important. This episode is extremely important. Please make sure you share it with everyone you know around the Republic of Kenya and outside Kenya. This is how our taxes are looted. This is how Africa is kept poor. $2.9 billion $2.9 billion has been given to a Zimbabwean who is a convicted fraudster. He spent 2 years in Chukurubi prison in Zimbabwe, and now he is President Ruto's best of friends, best of buddies, together with Mama Rachel Ruto. This is the theft of Africa's resources by people like President Ruto, who are supposed to be in charge and protecting our wealth. Thank you very much. This is your Jomba Mwabili Mwagodi. Asanteni.